Last night was kind of one of those games you had to like pull out the roster, kind of go down it because of how many guys got the chance to play last night.
Yeah, I mean, what number is this guy, or who is this number? And it was great to see the Treasure Valley guys in there. There were a lot of guys that we saw on offense and defense that we may not see again this season, except for perhaps on special teams. The one question mark might be Dylan Riley, because he was so spectacular that they may need him.
Yeah.
Especially with the Sire Gaines injury, they may need him coming down the pike.
Felt like he was more of an exclamation mark to me.
Oh, for sure. The thing that's nice about it, though, is they don't have to make that decision until he plays for 3 more games. That's the redshirt rules. They don't have to establish him as a redshirt.
Right.
They can play him the next couple weeks while Sire and anybody else, Breezy Dubar, gets healthy again. And if they decide they want to redshirt him at the end of it, they can.
They could.
If they decide, you know what, we really like having this guy on the field, we're not going to redshirt him, they also can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think coming in, even last week, we talked about Dylan a little bit, and I think we had expectations for him, but I don't know if I had those expectations. Yeah. And this run was the most impressive. And check out this little footwork right here. Well, somehow kind of just stays in bounds and finishes it off.
He's doing his best Ashton Genty impression. Yeah. He's 1 inch taller and 25 pounds lighter than Ashton, but he sure looked like him on that play.
Let's stick with the running backs here. I know we do have some video of the Sire Gaines injury, and he picks up 18 yards on this play, and the officials took a look at this and almost called it a personal foul and decided not to. I believe that this should have been called a personal foul because you're not allowed to use your body as dead weight in order to bring a ball carrier down. He gets up okay, but then he kind of starts to limp after that.
And that could be, the adrenaline of the moment.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a big-time first down. It was a great play. They carted him off shortly after. Cam Camper catches that touchdown pass, and you might see right behind as he's getting off the field, the carts going by, and that was the end of the day for Sire Gaines. And of course, maybe we find out more tomorrow in the press conference. Usually we don't.
It would almost be good news if we don't get any more news, because usually only Coach Danielson will share that news if it's season ending. So in that way, hopefully no news is good news.
Yeah, and then so beyond that, you'll have Breezy Dubar. If he can come back, then he would be the backup, and Dylan Riley would be number 3.
Yeah.
If Breezy's not ready, then maybe you've got Dylan Riley in there.
Yeah. You might have to. And either way, another guy that you're going to sprinkle into that, T. Crow.
Yes. I love him as a fullback, and he did line up at fullback a few times last night, but when he was lined up at running back and they just fed him, I've always liked the way he runs the ball.
He runs like a fullback.
Yes.
I mean, look at the power. Look at the final effort to get into the end zone on some of these. That's hard to do.
He so reminds me in a way of Scott Matlock. And hear me out here. Scott Matlock's now playing, well, really 3 ways in the NFL, because he's playing offense, defense, and special teams. He would do whatever you asked him to because he is a football player. Tyler Crow, if you asked him to play quarterback, he would. I legit think Tyler Crow would think he could be the quarterback of this team if you asked him to do it.
I know. And I hope he gets more time at fullback, because he can benefit the running game even more with the fullback in there.
Yeah. Let's go back to the guys now that throw the football. Maddox Matson, 13 of 18, 188 yards. I want to point that out, that highlight really quick. The 25-yard kickoff return by Tyler Crow, too.
Very nice.
Best by a Bronco this season. Anyways, Maddox Matson, a pretty efficient night. 3 touchdown passes, a career high. Hooked up with Cam Camper for a couple of them. I was impressed with Maddox's efforts last night against Portland State.
And he was on the money. I mean, the 52-yard touchdown pass to Cam Camper was a thing of beauty. I mean, it was right in the basket.
You're talking about Brady's shot of it or the actual pass?
The pass was better. I'll give you that.
Okay.
The pass was better than Brady's shot.
It was great. Still hasn't thrown an interception since week 1 against Georgia Southern. Of course, that was not a good pick, but it seems like he has learned from it and gotten out of the way ever since then.
And no fumbles.
Absolutely.
No fumbles.
And that's what you wanted him to do. You wanted Maddox Matson to take care of the football, generate a few explosive plays. Those explosive plays through the passing game would be set up by your ground game and what they're doing there. And so he again, I don't want to say that he's a complimentary football player, but he is playing complimentary football for what this offense is made to do. That's run the football and then throw off of that.
And he's doing his job. Boise State's running game is averaging 311 yards per game.
It's insane. Ashton Genty's over 10 yards per carry. Dylan Riley's over 10 yards per carry. I mean, it's pretty crazy what these guys have been able to do. Now, how about the backup QB? QB2. There was a little, you could hear a cheer, maybe the loudest cheer of the third quarter I don't know. T. Crow's was pretty loud too. But it was when USC transfer Malachi Nelson entered the game for the first time as a Boise State football player.
You know, it was kind of funny. They made the fans wait a little extra long. He spent the majority of his opening drive handing the ball off to T. Crow and Dylan Riley. Like the coaching staff had told us, like Spencer said after the game, Malachi did a lot of things well. I think it's clear that there are still things he is working at. I don't think this is as much of a competition behind the scenes as some fans might say it is, based on what we've seen.
I 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
At this point, things can change totally. But as it stands right now, I agree with that, Brady.
Yeah, Malachi was fine last night, but he didn't do anything to change the pecking order. And Maddox Manson didn't do anything to lose his place in the pecking order.
Yeah. I just want to get too caught up in the pecking order. This team's averaging almost 50 points per game, over 550 yards per game. They have a pretty good answer right now at starting quarterback with Maddox Madsen, and they got a kid that's developing clearly in Malachi Nelson, 5 of 8, 66 yards. I like the way that they got him involved. They got him some, easy throws. And then there was one throw where he showed off some nice touch over the middle to Austin Terry, picked up 28 yards.
On a third and 24.
Yeah, beautiful ball there.
That was a great play.
Yeah. Whatever. He was involved in a sack, and that was the second one that Boise State has allowed all year. And the only other one was a 1-yard loss, Maddox Madsen at Oregon. So anyways, Matt Lauder, huge game. Cam Camper, huge game. Huge game this Saturday on the Blue. Tom, we appreciate you joining us.
Thanks. Go. Okay. I'll show myself out.
And with that, more on Sunday Sports Extra after the break.